Okay, so this is just a little video to kind of help you keep things organized and to help you with your case study a little bit. Let's see. Just going to make an arrow here so we can use it. Okay, so we have three main kinds of macronutrients that we need to break down in our digestive tract. We do break down nucleotides as well, so RNA and DNA, and we'll talk about that briefly, but these three are three main ones that we talk about when we talk about our diet and things like that. So, the first one that we encountered was carbohydrates. Okay, so we're going to start with carbohydrates. The second one that we talked about was proteins, and the one we haven't talked about yet are fats. So we're going to kind of come back to this and use it to kind of get things organized. So we said that carbohydrates are broken down into smaller chunks of polysaccharides. Okay, so the carbohydrate we're talking about is a complex polysaccharide. So they're really long chains of monosaccharides stuck together. And when they're broken down in the mouth, we said they were broken down into smaller things called dextrins. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like on your case study sheet, but it's missing the arrows and it's missing some of the detail. The dextrins are going to be broken down further a little later on when we talk about them. They're going to be broken down into smaller units called disaccharides. And then the disaccharides, which are made of 2 sugar units, will be broken down into monosaccharides. So that's going to happen somewhere along the digestive tract. So we've seen this first step, carbohydrates broken down into dextrins. And it said, in your case study, it said we need to indicate to the right of each arrow, write the name of the enzyme. To the left, indicate where it happens. So to the right, what enzyme was acting? It was salivary amylase. Okay, I'm going to put that in, let's see, what color? We'll go red. Okay, so salivary amylase is the enzyme that's in working here. Ooh. And on the left, we're supposed to indicate where it happens. So we said that happens in the mouth. My daughter has the flu. She's been up all night being sick. So I need to run for a minute. And then I'll be back to help out. So that's the mouth. Happens in the mouth. So I'm going to pause and run. Pause. Okay. And we're back. Okay. So that's all we've talked about so far in terms of carbohydrates. So further along the digestive tract, something's going to happen so that we can get them down to monosaccharides. Proteins, we talked about a little bit. Nothing happens to them in the mouth except for physical digestion. Like physical can happen at any stage, in the mouth and then in the stomach. Okay, but these ones, proteins are large polypeptides. Okay, peptide is the kind of bond that holds all the amino acids together, so we call them polypeptides because they have many bonds holding the amino acids together. So the bigger they are, the bigger the polypeptide. So they're large polypeptides. So if you look down here from your options, the next step would be to break them down into smaller polypeptides. Okay, so that we did talk about. And then those small polypeptides are going to be broken down into, we could have just called them peptides, I suppose. Peptides, which are really small chunks of protein, just a few amino acids. And eventually we need to get them down to being just amino acids so that we can absorb them. So this starts not in the mouth. There's no chemical digestion of protein in the mouth, but it starts, that was silly. It starts in the next part. So we talked about an active enzyme had to be activated by the acidic environment in the stomach. Okay, so we talked about pepsin and how pepsin acts on proteins in the stomach. Okay, so something happens further along that will break them down into peptides. We can change that to be peptides. It makes a little more sense. Unlock. Let's call them peptides. Either's fine. Sorry. Okay. Oh, and the last is fats. But fats are interesting, and we haven't talked anything about fats yet, so we're going to wait and talk about them later. So I'm going to save this for now,